Hello everybody, and thank you for joining my presentation. My name is Michael Krüppelin. I'm a project manager at Intero Technologies, and I'm really happy to be the first time here on the Odoo experience and can share my talk with you. So today we will, or I will discuss the topic securing user inputs through a GUI configurable warning rooms. But before we dive into, so let me just inform you with some background information about Intero Technologies. Intero Technologies is based in the charming city of Stralsund, close to the Baltic Sea. If you know where it is, it's in the north kind of Germany. But we are also in several key cities like Rostock, Hamburg, Berlin, Cologne sites, and also Wiesbaden. So for over 12 years, we are proudly served as an Odoo partner. And in 2016, we achieved also the Odoo Gold partner status. And this successful us, by the way. So our success is also based at the largest German-speaking development team what we have in our company with over 100 employees. And not only this is our success, also our expertise in a different kind of offering services like advice, like support, smooth integration, also active development and hosting solution. So all in all, and all out of one hand. This helps us also to guide our clients successful through the Odoo implementation process. So if you want to have further information or if you like to contact us also after the talk, we have here on the next slide a short QR code so you can scan us and you can directly contact us by the way. And all you ever known, the next slide is for the Q&A part, so if you have further questions after the talk, you can also scan it here, place your questions and I will answer it for you. But let's dive into. We will start with the first point. It is why Intero warning rules is so necessary. Then after that was a small demonstration on a live system. And after that we close it with a small conclusion. So let's start with the why, because this is the most important thing. Because everything what we do is about making our customers happy by meeting their specific needs. So the first thing is you want to establish warning rules in your company. Yes, for sure, you will need it. Because of missing protection of user input and data maintenance can result in issues across various process flows. So such as poor data quality or even errors due to an incorrect maintained fields. And we have to know everybody is working with humans. Humans make sometimes mistakes, so we have to cover it a bit. But often in Odoo, what we do is we tweak a bit the standard system. We just want to expand it a bit. So the system needs a better handle with critical user inputs and reduced mistakes. So we start with it, and good example for this, popular also, is making certain fields mandatory or establish controls of dependencies to other fields. So in total, adding maybe just 2 fields, it is totally okay and it will work. But if you have complex sequences or complex systems behind this, it makes no sense to add 20 additional fields to establish controls and dependencies to other fields. It is not sense. In order to maintain the Odoo standard and at the same time establish input controls without a high development, and this is a critical part, without high development, you can do it by your own, or you can extend it within a developer team. Intero Technologies has developed a technical base module that has been used by various customers. And mistakes often happen when you're multitasking, especially when you're using different modules. So I would like to give you 2 examples. The first example is you are working in the sales department. A customer calls you and you said like, you need a desk, you need a chair, okay, fine, but you're still writing another quote for another customer. So may you forgot something to enter, maybe just a small thing like the email address. But when you have your customer on the phone, you send to him like, yes, I will send it to you by email. And you forgot the email. This is bad, but it happens. The next thing is, if you have a small company, then then you are working in more modules just like in one. So you have, for example, the sales module open, then you have the purchase module open, and you switch between the modules. And then you are thinking, you are in the sales module, and you get these information for the customer or something else, and now you change to the purchase module. You will do the same, but you need some other information. So a warning system is grouped by modules and can also be used and configured in different modules, that you don't make any mistakes, and you get a small reminder, please ask in the sales module after the email address, but in the purchase order you want to have something else, some additional information for the vendor especially. So without a warning system or without our warnings, it is not entirely safe to meet all the information you have to collect. I worked several years in an online sales team, and I was hanging on the phone 6 hours in total after one call to another one. And I promise you, human will forget some. Okay, it works, fine. No, but sometimes you will forget something, for sure. This is normal. This is when you're working with humans. But if you have a system that supports you, it's definitely better, and it's much easier, and you will also make it a bit more secure of the input. Another part what is very important is design warning rules in different modules. Different modules, we all know Odoo, we all know that there are a lot of modules, and we also prepared our warning module, for example, a sales module, rental, purchase, or for example, help desk tickets, and it's very easy for us to extend it if you ask for that. So this will be possible. So in total, handle complex sequences, it's essential to set up control fields, to establish also chained rules. Also very important thing. I will show you the chained rules also in my in the live demonstration. And it requires mandatory data input in these modules. This is very important. It's also important to work with the employees to visually present these information to your employees. You don't want that they are Python engineers and know how to deal with Python code. They want to do it, they want to configure it by themselves because they have the real rights. So present the rules. You can have different stages. You can have different defining stages like blocked, to ignore, and warning resolved. The two mandatory things are blocked messages because they are still there till you fix the problem. That is the blocked message. And to ignore message can be just a message like, you need the email address from the customer, but maybe the customer don't want to get any emails or something like this, then you can just ignore it. But important is the last thing, the warning resolved. It is, in our system, it's a badge that you can click on, and you get a documentation of which blocking message was it. Was it a blocked message? Was it a message to ignore? This is very important to see and also to track this. So you will see warning messages can also be graphically designed by just simply using the QWeb technology, what is actually inside Odoo, it's standard. You all know the hash, comment, this you also can use. And this just to write your message. So users with the right permissions and the technical skills can easily configure these rules through a graphical interface. And it also provides the report options, so helping users to track and manage rules and change if they already set up. So to sum it up a bit, the module needs, from our side, several key criteria. It is keeping things secured, easily adaptable to different needs, because it's your company, it's not ours, it's your company, and it has to belongs to your needs. And it has to be various rule definition at different stages, because you want to select it a bit. It has to tailor to specific models, and the following user interface have to be standard. The looking good and easy to use is very important when you're working with employees and when your employees have to do this. And for sure, the last term is offering documentation. Every time you need a documentation. If you write a module, documentation. If you do something, if you ignore it, if you accept something, you need a documentation to look it up. So that was a lot of talking. So let's come to the main thing, because the demonstration is missing to understand completely how the system works and the look and the feel. So with these, I have a short presentation for you. I just have to switch a bit to my data system. So here you see a normal Odoo standard version. Everything is fine, everything is good. Be sure the first thing you have to do, please enable the developer mode. This is mandatory to see the functionality. If the developer mode is on, you see here a small icon. If you don't know how to get there, you just click on settings, scroll down to the end, and then activate the developer mode here at the end. Very easy, very simple. If you're here in the settings and you have the developer mode on, then you see here the technical section. Technical section is your first entrance to the warning module. You scroll a little bit down and you find it under automation. You have two things, warning rules and warning messages. And as I told simply before, the warning messages, these tracking messages, will be shown here. So I played a little bit for preparing, and here you see all my warning rules. They popped up while I create a sales order, because this is a record module name. Here you see the sale order. It can also be a purchase model or something else if you configure it. At the end, you see here the state of the warning. It can be ignored, it can be solved, also very important, or it can be blocked. But there you have an overview. And also it's totally easy to export these files. Just click and collect everything. Action button, export, delete, everything is possible. So all with the Odoo standard, everything is fine. Also you can group it. If you have maybe 200 rules on, for example, 4 modules. So you have the sales module, you have the purchase module, or you have some 2 additional models, you can group it. Just add the custom group, just say like, I would like to have the warning rule, and then it's grouped by the warning rule. So also this you can do to track it a bit more. Let's go to the second one, to the warning rules in total. Also I prepared it a bit for this presentation. I built it up like a tree. You have, in a normal way, you need to select everything and to splice everything. So you have your global rule for customers, you have a global rule for companies, and you have global rules for a sale order, for example. These 3 you can also adapt to any other module, because it's not just for one model. So here you see the parent rule. This is a global rule customer. I did it everything by myself, so without a developer, without a development team, and I can read Python, but I'm not a programmer. So you can do it totally by your own. It's very easy. And here we see it directly. There's the normal overview from Odoo. You have here on the left side an edit button. And here you just fill in your name of the rule you want to take. You want to name it. Then you can set up here, is there a parent rule or not? If you set up the parent rule, this rule, what you created, maybe this global rule customer, will automatically be a child rule. This you have to know. When you add a parent rule, this rule will be a child rule. Then you have a small field for a description to make it a bit comfortable if somebody else, after you want to take a look into the rule and want to know, okay, what does the rule means, what does it has to be. So this is a normal description field. And then you have the main settings. The main settings, very important, because here you use your model and you choose it. We prepared also here help desk ticket, purchase order, sales order, or internal transfers. Here, for this example, I used the module sales order. So you see it here. This is just a read-only field, nothing important. So the next thing is a sequence. The sequence is very important when you're dealing with parent and child rules. Because, for example, you have the parent rule, and the parent rule have the sequence 0. The child rules have the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on the right side here you see the other settings. Skip following, skip childs. Skip following means if you have a warning rule with a sequence 0, and this rule is true, gets a result true, then every other rules after this, so with a sequence 1 and below, is skip following, everything. Everything will be skipped. You just see the first rule with the sequence 1. With the skip child, it's nearly a bit the same, but it's just on a child level. So if you have 4 parent rules, and with a tree you have 4 parent rules and 5 child rules, when these parent rules have the skip child active, then just the child rules will be skipped, but not the following parent rules. So this is very important to know. The next one is make it ignorable. I think everybody knows what makes ignorable. It is a button, you click, you can ignore it, and finally. But it will be tracked. Be sure it will be tracked. And you can decide if they have to create warning messages or not. The next thing is, I prepared it a bit because the global rule for customer, in my case, means it has to be a customer. It has to be not a company. So I have to decide it, and this you make here. Because with the special settings, you can select only used on, and you have the match records with the following rule. So you can click in here, and some of you will know these parts. You can search really for the domain part, for the real ID. You can search by everything. You can set it up if it's true, if it's not true. If I leave it totally empty, then you have a more variants of choosing here. It can be the same like, or it contains of. You can design it by your own. It's totally free. And then you can see here, set it as true, not set, it is false. So this is the result you get. And here in the small area, it is a live update. You will see how many records you have with these rules activated. So you have here 21 rules, and I see, yeah, okay. The customer, it looks like Michael Kröbelin. That should be a customer, so it is not a company. Then you have here the warning message. I leave it here blank because you also can leave it blank. If you leave it blank, it will not be shown. But if you put something here, you can just write like testing rule. And also you have this field to make it bold, to make it in another color, or you can design it by your own. It is just QWeb. So very easily for understanding. If I add something here, you see that the first paragraph here was updating. So everything what you place here, now it stands here with the testing rule. Also can do it in bold, and then you will see it will change. Very easy. What is necessary to activate this rule is here one Python code. This is just a standard code. It means just the result is true. When this is not set, the rule is not activated. So please be sure that this Python code, this short one line, is there. Then it will be a trigger. From here, we can directly skip to another rule, because then we will see a small difference, because this is a parent rule. In the next time, we will have, under the parent rule customer, we have the child rule customer without email address. So here you see the dependencies of a child rule and the parent rule. You have the same things, you have the description, you have the use on the module, you can design it by your own, everything is totally fine, the warning message also, and the result is given. But there is a small checkbox, ignorable, activated. So we will see it in a few seconds when I start making a sale order. Then you will see how it works in total, because this is just the configuration. If you want times do the configuration, you can export it, you can store it, totally fine, it's a normal export. Here you see also in the overview, here the small active and non-active button. can also switch it. It's also possible. You can see here the full name. You can hear the name of the rule, because the full name is including the parent rule. So you have a combination of parent rule and child rule. Here you have the overview over the parent rule, and sure, you use it on the model. Everything I used on the sale order, because for me it's very easy to track and to design. And here you have an overview of it's ignorable or not, or you have to skip child, or you have to skip following. So everything what you see here, the configuration is nearly the same like Odoo have it. So let's see it shortly in a sales order. Because if we just create here the customer rule, I will choose like this. We will see here in a small attention the email is written. So we take a second one, C2. There is no email. Here you see no email. And then I click on save. And then you will see more than one message, because I also designed a global rule for the sales order. It doesn't depend on if it's a customer or not. It is just for the sale order. And this is here, the order line is empty. So the system wants me, the order doesn't contain any items, check the data. So, yeah, okay, I have to fill it with something else. So I add a product. I will just use just like one. Click on save, and done. It disappeared. It disappeared just for the user, but not when you click here. Because here, you have these, but with the state solved. And this is what we need, and this is how we can control different user inputs. And here there is a small message. The customer doesn't have an email address, and I can ignore it directly from here. So I don't need an email for that. So just ignore it and done. And you see here, everything is fine. Everything is in blue. You can also design it in green or purple or whatever you want. It is totally free on the back end. So this is a small, showing how it works very easily. And when we switch back to switch back to my presentation. It works. Because we want to have a small conclusion as well. Because I think you're ready for this. You see it in the live demonstration and everything works. So ready for the conclusion, for sure. There are 3 really important things we wanted to do. The module have to be tailored to your company's profile. Because it is specific your company. You want to design the rules for yourself. You want to have to make it customizable via a graphical user interface, and you want to make it configurable across various levels. And this is everything you need, not more. So thank you for joining my presentation, and hopefully you have some questions, or if you want, I think my whole company sits here somewhere. I see them. There's one hand. So if you need further information or if you need an ID card from us, just talk with us. Thank you very much. No questions?
No,
okay.
I can't access the QR code with my phone, so I don't know if there are any questions.
Normally it works, yes.
I couldn't.
That is crazy because we tested it.
But you do you have access to the pad to see if there are questions?
Yeah, sure.
You can do it yourself. Maybe it's
From, somebody is writing.
You can just read the question, like that everybody knows.
I can show it. It's not a problem. Yeah. Let me just duplicate the screen so we make it easy. So from the rules, can we open directly the record that had issues? I think somebody from my company is adding something. Okay, fine, teamwork. So, yeah, will be added easily. I think you will see the answer. Can we change the color of the warning message? Yes, totally, because in the code behind is Python code, so you can design it by your own. If you have access to the Python code, you can directly design it in green, yellow, purple, what you need. It's fully customizable. Yeah, but if there are no further questions, thank you very much.